1400 years ago, in the deserts of Arabia, a man who could not read or write recited words that would challenge the world forever. These words were not poetry, not philosophy, not human speculation. They were a message from the Creator of the heavens and the earth. But here's the question. How could those words describe the universe, the oceans, the human body, with details that science would only discover more than 1,000 years later? Today, let's explore how the Qur'an, revealed in the 7th century, speaks truths that modern science has only recently uncovered. This is not just knowledge, this is proof.
Let's begin with the sky above us. The Qur'an says in Surah Ayāt, chapter 51, verse 47, "And we built the universe with great might, and indeed we are expanding it." For centuries, people thought the universe was fixed, eternal, unchanging. But in the 20th century, scientists like Edwin Hubble discovered something astonishing. Galaxies are rushing apart. Space itself is expanding. The universe is stretching like a balloon blown with air. Pause and think. How could a man in the desert in the 600s know that the cosmos is expanding? Yet the Quran had already stated it clearly.
Now let's turn inward to ourselves. The Quran describes the beginning of human creation with remarkable precision. In Surah Al-Mu'minun, chapter 23, verses 12 to 14, "We created man from an extract of clay. Then we placed him as a drop of fluid in a safe lodging. Then we made the drop into a clinging clot, a laca. Then we made the clot into a lump of flesh, then bones, then clothed the bones with flesh, then developed him into another creation. So blessed is Allah, the best of creators." Modern embryology, with microscopes and imaging, confirms exactly these stages. The sperm and ovum combine, forming a zygote. It clings to the womb wall like a leech, like the Arabic word alaka describes. It then becomes a lump of flesh, bones form, and later flesh covers them. Dr. Keith Moore, a world-renowned embryologist, once said, "Descriptions in the Quran cannot be based on scientific knowledge of the 7th century." Imagine the awe of early Muslims hearing these words, and now imagine scientists of today, humbled by their accuracy. The Quran also takes us deep into the oceans. In Surah An-Nur 24:40, Allah says, "Or like darkness in a vast deep sea, covered by waves upon waves, topped by clouds." Darkness upon darkness. If a person stretches out his hand, he can hardly see it, and he to whom Allah has not granted light, for him there is no light. Science tells us that in the depths of the ocean, sunlight cannot penetrate. At around 200 meters, total darkness begins. Even more fascinating, oceanographers have discovered internal waves beneath the surface, layers moving above one another. Exactly as the Quran describes, waves upon waves. How could someone who never saw an ocean, who lived in the desert, describe this with such vivid accuracy? Because the one who revealed the Quran is the creator of the seas. Let's return to the earth beneath our feet. The Quran says in Surah An-Naba 78, Verses 6 to 7. Have we not made the earth a resting place, and the mountains as pegs? Mountains, we now know, have deep roots that stabilize the earth's crust, like pegs anchoring a tent. Plate tectonics and geology confirm that mountains play a role in stabilizing the earth's crust from tremors. A 7th century Arab might describe mountains as large rocks, but pegs. That description matches exactly the modern scientific discovery of how mountains extend deep into the ground.
Another verse takes us to the meeting of the seas. Surah Ar-Rahman 55:19-20. He released the two seas, meeting one another, yet between them is a barrier they never cross. Oceanography has discovered haloclines, places where salty seawater and freshwater meet, but don't immediately mix due to differences in salinity, density, and temperature. Today, scientists map these ocean boundaries exactly as the Qur'an described over a millennium ago.
So what does all this mean? Does this mean the Qur'an is a science textbook? No, it is much more. It is a book of Ayāt, signs. Signs for the believer, signs for the skeptic, signs for all of humanity. The Qur'an invites us not just to marvel at the stars or oceans, but to recognize the one who created them, the one who revealed this message to guide us, to call us to worship him alone. 1400 years ago, the Qur'an said, "We will show them our signs in the horizons and in themselves until it becomes clear to them that this is the truth." 41:53. And today, as science catches up, we see those signs shining brighter than ever. So the question is not just, does science confirm the Qur'an? The real question is, now that you've seen the signs, what will you do with them?